The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Good morning. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jessup. The time now is 8 o'clock here on this. What day of the week is this, Bob? Friday.
Friday is here.
Friday is here. Friday is here. And that means you can have a great weekend staying in the house, okay? In the backyard by yourself, all right? Is that right, Bob? We can only be outside by ourselves? Is that... You can go outside and exercise by yourself? Do your jumping jacks in your front yard or backyard?
Still go play golf.
You can still go play golf.
Yep.
You just, okay, good.
Yeah, get exercise.
Yeah, you can still go play golf, and
The problem is the parks are all shut down.
yeah, you can still go play golf. And well, you're listening to the world famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO FM in Jessup 105.5 on your FM dial. Big Dog Country, brought to you by Nips Car Wash, located on Highway 301 South, just past McDonald's there on the left, and by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jessup. Jekyll's still open, aren't they? That was the last time you reported it?
Press report I got.
Your last press report, the Jekyll? Yeah, Jekyll.
All the beaches have been shut down, though, so, you know.
The beaches?
Yeah.
Why go to Jekyll
That's what I'm saying. Why go to Jekyll if you
if you can't go to the beach? Why close down a beach? I mean, that's pretty open.
All the beaches are closed.
All the beaches are closed.
Can't get on the beach.
Huh. Wow. Can you get on?
Just like Florida shut them down.
What's that?
Shut them down.
Shut down the beaches.
Too many people on the beach.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is how do you enforce, social distancing on the beach? I mean, what are you going to do?
I said, it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get through it. I said, it's just a tough time for everybody, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but you can still play golf. Good.
As long as you don't have a big group, they have some restrictions. I'm not sure what all the restrictions are, but
okay.
I think it's one person in the cart,
just, okay. One person per cart.
They don't want you pulling the flag, things like that. So
don't pull the flag.
They don't have any rakes in the bunkers. You don't do any of that.
Can't touch anything that. Right. Yeah.
So
okay.
They have restrictions out there, but
all right.
The course is still open.
All right. Well, world famous Butch and Bob Show here for this Friday morning, and Bob, we've got a special guest on this morning.
Yeah, we got another candidate for sheriff. Appreciate him coming in. Toby Cameron's in. He ran last time, and Toby, appreciate you coming in and being on the show. First of all,
appreciate y'all having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. A lot of people don't know who Toby Cameron is. I said, I don't know much about you, but I know you ran last time. But tell us about who Toby Cameron is.
Yeah, Toby Cameron was I was a trooper for 30 years.
After that microphone up so they can hear you.
There you go.
I was a state trooper, Georgia, for 30 years. Then I retired, of course. And during my time as a trooper, everybody thinks you get out there and you write tickets and you do accidents and things like that. It's not all about that. There's a lot more into it than that. It's according to what fields you get into when you're there, or if you're accepted into them, or you get offered into them to go to them. I had the opportunity while I was a trooper. I was on the interdiction team, the drug interdiction on I-95 for 6 years. Done a lot of work on 95 with the drugs. I seized lots of money and seized lots of vehicles and different things like that, and drugs. I mean, the drugs were just back there. That was in like the 80s and the 90s, and they're still there now. I mean, it was plentiful then. After I done that, I got assigned over to the DEA, which was task force agent with the DEA, and I stayed there with them for 3.5 years with them, and I seized lots of properties, drugs, and made a lot of arrests. I worked with a lot of judges across the state of Georgia, across the country, matter of fact. Went to different states and worked. When you're DEA with a federal company, you go different areas. That particular agency, we worked on police corruption. I worked on those cases. I've been to several federal courts in Atlanta, Savannah, Brunswick. Made several cases there that went through, positive all the way through. I worked with lots of sheriffs, lots of police chiefs, attorneys, like I said, judges, all across the area, mainly Georgia, but we did step outside of Georgia into South Carolina, Florida. I even went to up to Charlotte, North Carolina, and been over to actually Australia. I went to Australia one time. They just had to pick up a inmate to bring back to have court back here in the States with him. After that, after my retirement, I went to work with the Blackshear Police Department. I worked there for 2.5 years And of course, I left there December 2015 in order to run for sheriff here in Wayne County in 2016 against your current sheriff, John G. Carter. And of course, I lost that race. Didn't do too bad for a first time running. I had 4 months of campaigning. My heart is into Wayne County. And as soon as the race was over with, I went to work right straight over to Bryan County, which is the Richmond Hill area. And I'm currently working there and still there now. I'm a corporal over a shift over in Bryan County over there. And I'm still working today. Oh, they're not today while I'm sitting here, but I'm still today, this time of day. Yes, this time of day, I'm still working over there now.
Got a family?
So I got a family. I got a wife. She also works with GSP. She's been there with them for 27 years. She's in the dispatch office in there, and she's a senior dispatch over there, which is in charge of the dispatchers. Now they had, back when I was coming through, they had different patrol stations in different areas, and they still have them, but they had your dispatchers in those patrol stations. Now they got them all in one central location, and it's all in Brunswick right there, and they handle 5 patrol stations. And that's kind of like they break them down into kind of regions, and they got 5 patrol stations that are handled through that one dispatch area.
Well, all the candidates that come on here and talk about their platforms. Do you have a platform?
I do have a platform. My platform is very simple. It's very easy to operate on. I know the big thing is the drug problem here. I think the drug problem here, to me and my feelings and the way I feel about it, and I think a lot of other people do too, is the drugs are very bad here. You got all types of drugs out there you're dealing with now. You're not just dealing with marijuana anymore. They're about to legalize marijuana probably just about everywhere else. They're legalizing that right now as a medical, but you got meth out there now. Meth is killing these folks, and once they try it, they get hooked on it, and they're stuck on it. And you got what they call flocka. That's a new one. There's no telling what we're in here talking right now. They're probably got something new they're making out there right now, or they're trying out right now. We don't even know about yet. Ain't got a name for it yet, but it's out there. The opium problem is bad here, and when I say here, it is bad here in Wayne County. And it's terrible here in Wayne County. But Wayne County is not the only one, okay? It's everywhere. It's in other counties, too. It's in other states. But I'm not running in any other county for sheriff. I'm running for Wayne County Sheriff. That's where I'm running. I want to make sure that everybody knows that and that's clear on that. But I got a plan on the drugs. You can't... Let me put this. When I worked with DEA, one thing I learned from DEA, if I didn't learn anything else from them, is when we have a meeting, say we were all with DEA right now talking about what we're fixing to go do and who we're fixing to go pop. We don't walk out this room and go call everybody or go tell anybody else what our plan is. Because if you do, your plan's squash. Because you're going to have somebody that's going to go rat it out, and it's not going to go through. But I will tell you this. This is my plan. And I won't touch on the right. You got to identify the people that's involved in it, number one. Well, I don't have any identifications right now while we're sitting here talking to y'all. But what I'm going to tell you is this. You cannot use your own officers here in Wayne County. And I'm going to tell you why. You've got the network. You got a network outside your county. You use these officers here. Everybody that lives here is dealing dope here or drugs or whatever they're doing knows that officer, knows somebody in their family. They know what they drive. You need to network with some other agencies, and I'm not talking about your bordering agency next door. You need to go at least 2 counties over, work with that sheriff or that police chief, have them come in, use his guys here, women here, and you do the same for them. That way nobody knows who they are. Then you can get through with something. That's what you have to do. Now, I've heard somebody say DEA is not going to come in here because they only deal with the big stuff. Yes, they deal with big stuff, but they will deal with little stuff too. When I was working with DEA back when David Herron was the sheriff here, I actually came over because David Herron requested us to come over here. And we came over here, and I worked over here with another agent I was with. And what I'm trying to say is this. If there is something small out there and you're claiming it's small, DEA will still come and work it, because something small ends up being something real big, and it will in the end. And if you get your little guys, you start working up that ladder. And the thing about it is, when I say that, little guys, you got to get the big guys. You got to get the one that's making it, producing it, and passing it around over here. You're gonna get little guys. You got it. You can't just bypass them. If they're breaking the law and they're using these drugs, you can't bypass them. You got to do what you got to do to uphold the laws. But you got to go after the big dog. You go after the big dog, and I ain't talking about the big dog country here on the radio station. I'm talking
Thank you very much.
You got that. I'm talking about the big dog dope dealer making it, and that's where you got to go. You got to go hit him. You hit him, then you've done some damage then. But like I said, I would like to get every bit of it out of here. But, you're not going to be able to get it all out of here. That's just like theft and everything else. But that's another thing, theft. I'll bring that up. Simple mathematics. You reduce the drugs, you reduce the theft. Simple as that. They're out there trying to get their next little hit, and then they don't care what they steal, what they get. If they can get $1 for it, that's $1 toward another hit they can have. And that's the way that is.
I learned some little cop lingo there when you said when we go pop somebody.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard that before. We're going to go pop somebody.
Yeah, and I don't mean with a gun either.
I know what you mean, make a bust.
But, the thing is, too, is we all got to work together. I remember back a few years back, well, it was back in 2016, actually, when I ran against the sheriff. They had a drug team together between the city and the county. I don't know what happened with that. I wish they still had that. We need that. I think it was working good. I don't know what happened with it. But anyway, whether you're working with the city police, you're working with the sheriff department, the state patrol, GBI, or the feds, the DEA, you got fire department, you got EMS. We all one big family. And we all need to work together. And we've got to help each other out, and then that helps out. You help out the citizens at the same time, and when you do all that.
Well, that a lot of drugs are made locally, but as time goes by, from what I've heard, so much of it's being brought across the border from Mexico and distributed here in the South. How do you address that problem?
Well, you got to key down on it and make sure that's actually happening. To start with. Mm-hmm. You got to get your people inside there to go. That's where you come in with your GBI or your DEA that can reach out farther. I think the sheriff has a guy that's working for the GBI now that travels around different counties or something within the state or something. But we need to venture out farther than that. You could put a deputy here, police officer or city, either one, and you could put them on, like I was, on task force with DEA. They will go with the DEA, and they get to go wherever they go. Like I said, I went to Australia. I'll come back. No cost to the county or the city. All they got to do is pay their regular salary.
Well, that person really got away, didn't they? To go all the way to Australia to beat a rap here in Wayne County.
We did. I'll get into it real deep, but we did a long investigation on this cat, and we had to go over there and arrest him and bring him back. And we extradited him back straight back to the States. So he had a bad day when he saw us come up. But anyway, that was a lot of stressful work, to believe it or not. It sounds easy, but you got to go over there and you got to come back with this guy on the airplane. So, but anyway, that's what you got to do. Everybody's got to work together, and if you got somebody that you can put on a task force like that, that's what I'm saying. The expenditure is not going to be that bad because DEA is going to furnish them everything. They're going to furnish them their overtime. If you get any overtime, they're going to pay your overtime. And then they can get into these people and find out if this is really happening and coming through.
All right, we got candidate for Sheriff Toby Cameron is our guest here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Several folks running against the incumbent. Bob, more questions for Toby?
But one thing about May 19th, it looks like it's going to be the date. The governor said he doesn't have the power to change it. So, with this COVID-19 virus going on, so how do these candidates get out and see people? It's kind of tough.
Keep your distance.
Hey, you advertise on WIFO. We reach everybody in Wayne County and all surrounding counties because you don't care about the surrounding counties. But
I've been told I burn Facebook.
Advertise on WIFO. We reach thousands, and that way you can do a lot of reaching folks with social distancing.
Right, and this right here is a main source right here. What you guys got going on right here is wonderful. And you can get out to people, and a lot of people listen to this. And you believe it or not just right here in Wayne County, I know people over in Bryan County that listen to your radio station.
Oh yeah, we got them.
It's all over.
Waycross, we had a
amazing.
Clintonville person call in the other day or text in. They're all around here, and make sure you smile, Toby, because not only is this thing being on the 105.5 FM, but it's being streamed down BigDogCountry.com, both audio and video.
So that's why I did my hair.
It'll be, yeah, that's why you did your hair. Yeah, it'll be, and it's podcast, and folks can go back and take a look at it starting around 12 noon for the next several days.
Yeah, there's four candidates in the race this time. Last time you ran against John, there were only two candidates, and the vote count was 2,901 to 1,665, so about 1,200 votes. So how do you make it? I'm sure they're going to be split now with four people in the race. You think
I got more than that now.
What's that?
I got more than that now.
Got more than that now.
I told them mothers, come on out and vote.
There you go.
No, for me running first time, 4 months, that's not too bad for Kenneth doing that. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Listen, those two other guys are good guys. I know both of them. I know one better than I do the other, but I know both of them, and I hadn't heard anything negative on either one of them. I don't like hearing negative anyway. I like positive all the time. If it's going to be negative, turn it to positive. But the thing is I don't know why they can run. They got the option to run. Y'all could have run if you wanted to run. So everybody's got that option to do it. So
they had a forum set up, but I'm not sure if that forum's going to. Have you heard if that forum's staying?
I haven't heard anything on that. I'm assuming it probably won't be because they got everything shut down until the 30th of.
Right. So
for right now, what the 30th of the month?
Right. Well, the president's shut everything down for the 30th. Like I said, the governor shut down everything to about the 13th.
Pretty much get all your answers right here, though.
It's going to be interesting. Well, again, you talked about the drug. Like I said, I've talked to other candidates. The drug issue just continues to be a major issue. I said meth seems to be the main drug at this time, but what is the answer? How do you stop?
I'll tell you one more thing I wanted to say. I'm glad you brought it back up. Is that when I said?
I don't think people.
Yeah, you can hear me now.
Yeah, there you go.
You can hear me now.
I have to put them way up.
I need to put my mouth on it.
Not on it.
It's a direction.
About 3 or 4 inches, right? Yeah, about like this. You see where we are, about 3 or 4 inches away from it.
The thing about the drugs is, a while ago, and I was going to mention that a while ago, but when I said that you got to get the little guy, and if he's breaking the law, you got to get him too. This is my idea, and this is my feelings about it. I get elected, and I'm in office, and I'm sure they're doing something like that right now. I'm not sure. I'm not in that box to see what they got going on. But you arrest a guy or female. When I say guy, everybody know I'm just talking about anybody out there. It could be female or guy, but man. But anyway, if he wants help, I don't mind him getting help. But under Toby Cameron's rule, you'll get help one time. That door's not going to swing back in two every 6 months. Oh, he needs help again. I know it takes some time to get them down off of whatever they're on. I'll give them that time, that one time. But that's all you're going to get. You're going to get that one time. Because you got to get control of it, and you got to take control of it. Then you can't just let that door keep swinging back and two for the same person coming in and out. And you're going to put him in jail or her on and on and on, same one,
Hey, John's been in there a long time. I said it many times. It's hard to beat an incumbent sheriff. If you look across the state of Georgia, but there's 4 candidates in the race, 3 candidates. Is there an issue that they see? Talking to Paul and Chuck. Chuck's just said it. He just thinks it's time for a change. Is that your thought process, or you ran 4 years?
I want to be sheriff for the community and I want to do the things that I want to do for this community. I love it. I've worked here before as a trooper. I worked here, like I said. I came here and worked some when I was with the DEA, assigned to them, and after I retired, I worked over in Blackshear, and then, of course, I won't say this, I reckon, but when I got through running last time, I loved to work here, but didn't get a job nowhere here, so I had to work over there in Bryan County. So that's where I'm at in Bryan County, and I'm fine with that. That's okay, but I'd rather be right here in my hometown. I think the sheriff we have now has done an outstanding job. I'd like to see him take vacation and go on and enjoy his retirement, and that would be good. I've known John for a long time, and if he wants his $20 back, I'll give it back to him for my retirement. He give me, I'll give it back to him. but anyway, I'm 56 years old. I'm in great health. I'm not 76. I'm 56. So I've been doing this for rocking on 36 years now. And I'm going to tell you, and if other folks can tell you too, once you get into business, you just don't want to let it go. You want to keep on doing what you do and helping folks, And I enjoy it. I've got, back in my younger days when I was a trooper, you write that ticket, and got that hat on and stuff, but now I'm gotten older. It's more of a, help people a lot more. And it's really just going out and seeing what everybody needs from you while you're out there in that car riding around. And they may need some help over there, and you run over there to go help them, and it's that kind of thing now. That's the way it gets, then the older you get.
All right. Bob, anything else?
No, I think pretty much covered it. Like I said, unless he has something else he wants to say.
Yeah, Toby, go right ahead. You got things on your mind, go right ahead.
I got a few things I don't want to leave off of
it's
here.
It's your time.
The thing is, too, when I'm running is I want to form while we're talking about helping people, I would like to form a committee between the citizens and the sheriff department and the business owners of Wayne County, and including Jessup, because they're in Wayne County. I'd like to streamline the communications, and that way they can tell us what they feel that needs to be changed or done, and we can see their ideas, and we can give them some ideas, and we can react back into. And that's including the sheriff, me, as they can talk with me too, and I'll be open and a very approachable guy. I want to get that done if I can. That I believe that would help in a lot of ways. The overtime, I don't know about that. I've been hearing about it left and right. I don't know if it's this rumor or what. I don't know. Maybe the sheriff can come in here and explain it to y'all. Nobody else has been able to get it. But if it is, I'll look into that. That needs to be cut down. If we're shorthanded, as I heard him say a couple of weeks ago, I don't know when y'all had him on there a few weeks back, he said he was shorthanded, I think, 4 deputies. Let's get them hired. Let's get them on there. That'll cut that overtime down. And when you cut the overtime down, you cut the monies down coming out of taxpayers' pockets, and that person that's working all that overtime gets to spend a little more time with their family instead of being in that uniform every day, wearing that thing out.
He doesn't have to control that. He has to have the county approve that. I said he doesn't have. He just can't go out there and hire 4 deputies. He has to have the county. No, he has to have the county, because the county has to approve that budget.
No, he said he's 4 down.
Right, because he doesn't have the money from the county budget.
I thought he was 4. He's lost 4. He needs to replace those 4. That's what I was talking about. Oh, I know, Steve. You're talking about.
It's a budget process.
See there?
The county
need to form that committee so we can streamline our communications. So anyway,
you got the citizen business and the county
deputies
police committee. What else is on your list that you'd like for the folks to know about?
Well, I want to bring this up because it's been brought to my attention. Somebody said y'all mentioned it on the radio. I don't know if you did or not. I didn't hear it. This cart and side-by-side riding. One of the candidates supposed to be cutting it out or something. Did y'all mention anything about that?
The police department's in this thing. They're
okay.
good.
Anyway, for all the cart riders.
You talking about the golf carts?
No, out here the 4x4s and four-wheelers and all that. Anyway, I don't condone you riding those carts out there. You got to abide by the laws. And if you're an officer or a sheriff, you got to abide by the laws of the state of Georgia, and you got to do it by the Constitution. So I'm going to do that. I can't. You just abide by the laws and be respectful. Don't tear up nobody's property. There's no problem. Nobody's going to come hunt you down to see if you're riding today on your 4-wheeler or your golf cart or something. You know what I mean? Just being within the law, within the range. I want a guy to come in. I want to get a person to come in to talk to people about suicide prevention. Wayne County is one of the highest in Georgia of last year of suicides. If you go Google it up, you'll see. And I think it's just needed. I think we need somebody that stays on top of that, and they can keep up with updates and tell people what to look for, how to handle it, and he can go to schools, events like the Arts Fest, things like that, and give talks and all. He don't have to be a full-time employee. And when I say all that, like we was talking about a while ago, yes, before I can do anything, I have to get approval through the commissioners and anybody I'm going, like schools. We'll get on that. School resource officer. I would love to have them in there. I would love to have them in every school. I was starting to start with the middle schools and go up to the high school. We got one at high school now, but the city's got that over there. That happened after my campaign last time, and I was proud of that. Whether I had anything to do with it or not, I don't know, but it happened, and I'm glad it happened. And that's my thing about everything. If it happens, good. Whether I got something to do with it or not, it goes in there, good. That's what I want. Now, budgeting that, we ain't going to talk about the monies on that. If the budget allows, yes, we'll do it. If not, you ain't going to be able to do it right then. We have to find another alternative to do it. Now, on that same token, you got to make sure your commissioners are in agreement with it, and you got to make sure that school system is in agreement with it. That's the school board, superintendent, and all. That's their area, and I don't want to be stepping on toes over there. But I think they'll agree they'd like to have an officer. They got one now. They would like to have one in every school, and I would like to see that happen. And I can make that happen, and it won't be that much money out of anybody's pocket to do that. So, response time, I want that cut down. And then, last but least, I want to say this, because I heard this right here, and I heard it last time too when I ran. The sheriff's department is not for sale. I'm not letting nobody go unless you make me do it. You give me a reason for it to do it. It's not for sale. I want them to know that here. The sheriff's department is not for sale.
Now, what do you mean it's not for sale? In case people understand what you're saying. I'm not firing anybody when I get in there unless they give me a reason for it. Just because I take over office don't mean I don't care for you, I don't like you, I'm getting rid of it. That's not happening. Okay.
That's not happening. That ain't the way you do business and the way you work here. We got to work together. There's some good deputies up there. He's got a lot of good deputies in there. I don't know all of them. The ones I know do an outstanding job. Right now, with this stuff going on now, thumbs up. Everything's going smooth. I like seeing what I see.
I'm curious, one topic that hasn't been discussed, and it's happened through the years, these standoffs. They just had one 8-hour standoff. Luckily it ended with nobody getting hurt, but in years past there's been standoffs where the person is shot and killed. How would you handle standoffs? Is there a policy to handle that, or what's
I'd have to see what their SOP is on that, if they have one up there or not. That's when you got to get in the box and see what they have. If I'm outside the box, I don't know what they have. I didn't know they had a standoff till the next day, and that's behind my house back there. So, I didn't even know. But there's a lot of things that goes with the sheriff's department up there I don't know about. I know what the trucks look like because I see them. I'm outside the box. But if I get inside the box, then I can see what they got going on.
Okay.
But
all right. In a standoff situation like that, don't the other agencies get involved other than just the one?
I
think it's like everybody was there.
I think GBI was there. I think what I heard.
Georgia State Patrol was there. Just the PD's there.
I didn't know if it was a requirement to bring one in if you've got a long standoff.
Are there somebody going to come in and talk to you about that, maybe?
What about what?
Clear the standoff.
Oh, we haven't talked to anybody about that, no.
So I don't know the whole deal on it. I knew it happened, but it was on that road back off of Chapman somewhere over there behind me. I live on Tank, so it was off of there somewhere near me.
He's facing serious charges. I said it was about an 8-hour standoff, but fortunately it ended. He shot deputies several times. Like I said, fortunately, they didn't fire back. They used tear gas and got him out of there. But in years past, we've had standoffs where, unfortunately, the person has been shot and killed. So I just was curious.
Actually, it's pretty good restraint there, then, being shot and no one shooting back in. They must have a procedure there that
it's a bad situation. I just didn't know if there's a standard procedure, how they, there's
inside. So when
you got the movies, they bring in what they call a negotiator.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if we had one of those.
You watching Miami Vice. It goes in there and sees 50 holes. It looks like we got gunshots in here.
It's just a bad situation.
You don't know who's in there with him.
And being a law enforcement, it's so scary. These people that wear these uniforms, like I said, they need to be commended because every day they leave, they don't know.
I'm sure when you were a state patrol, you had fellow officers that were injured just by writing a ticket.
Yeah, I've been shot at.
Jeez. Just for writing a ticket.
I'll crawl back to my car. but that's way back on dirt road. But
way back.
But you never know what's going to happen out there. That's the thing. You never know, especially these days now. I don't know what's going on. You can't even stop to help somebody change their tire. And if you hear of law enforcement officers getting killed or assaulted trying to help somebody broke down side the road, I don't understand that. I don't understand that one bit at all.
All right. Anything else final that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I want to say one final thing before I go out of here. I want to bring up the cookie jar.
The cookie jar.
Cookie jar. Got
right.
4 cookies in it. Okay? And you set it down right here. And I ask you for them 4 cookies. And you say, yeah, you can have them. And I eat them. When I eat them, they're gone. There ain't no more cookies. Your current sheriff, John G. Carter, sat right here and talked to you 2 guys in 2016 when I ran against him. And he says, I want 4 more years. Just give me 4 more. That's all I want. Just give me 4 more. Right here. I got it recorded. He got his 4. Everybody gave it to him. Now, I'm asking for 4, and I guarantee you give me 4, you're going to want more. And that's all I got. And I appreciate you guys having me in here today.
Well, glad that you were able to come in. I believe, Bob, now we've had all the Republican candidates on. This is Toby Cameron running for sheriff.
I'm sure we're going to get them on between now and May 19th, too, because, with the limitation of being out and seeing people, this is the best forum. So, not sure if we'll do it by phone or whatever.
All 4 back on again before May 19th.
We'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
But
Don't put us all in the same room. We might
No. If we did social distancing, this room is not big enough, and besides, it'd be best if it's one at a time.
There you go. This was good. I loved it.
All right, glad you were able to come on this morning, and like I said, we'll I guess Bob will line up for the next time for everybody to come in before May 19th, and remember now, if you want to reach everybody in Wayne County, just talk to us and we'll run advertising for you.
I got you. I ran one last time I ran, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate everything y'all do for the Wayne County citizens here and everybody else outside.
All right. Take care. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Nips Car Wash, located on Highway 301 South, just past McDonald's, there on the left-hand side. Yeah, you're washing your hands. Make sure your car is washed and all clean during this situation we're going through right now here in the country and around the world. Nips Car Wash on Highway 301 South, the new automatic car wash. Just drive through.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.